Okay, we just finished with tables in Word, and so now we're ready to tackle columns. So here in the Word section, you've got breaks basics, which is like page breaks, column breaks. So make sure you look at this, and then column basics. Before you try to do the Combat Cybercrime newsletter, please look over the information in those two modules. It will really help your life be a little easier. It's going to take a little bit of time to look at those, but it's going to save you time in the long run, I promise you. So let's come up here to the assignment folder. And let's come down here to the Combat Cybercrime. I'm going to download the data file here first. Make it half screen size, and then I'm going to open up the instructions. So the first thing you need to do after you download it is to save it as Combat Cybercrime with your last name. And we want to create a title. So right here we've got this Combat Cybercrime, and we're going to use the styles. So up here in the Home tab we've got the Style section over here, and we're just going to use the Heading 1 style, and then I'm going to center it. And now I want to make a subtitle with my name and the date. Okay, so right here where we've got this HTTPS, it's where we got this information. I'm going to delete that. Undo this, don't know what happened. Oh, didn't get all of it. So I'm going to just delete the text. I want to put an empty row here and come back up. And I'm going to use the subtitle. I'm going to put my name. So you want to type in your name here. And then we want to put a tab. Over here we want a right tab. So I'm going to come over here in my tab box, change that to a right tab, right on the margin here. So I'm going to hit the tab key, and then I'm going to type in the date. So whatever date you're creating on this, I want you to put that on here. And then I want to make this a subtitle style. So I'm going to highlight all of this row, come here to my style section, and change it to subtitle. And I don't know what happened with my tab here. There we go. Move it back over. Okay, we want to shade our subheading and create a top and bottom border of our choice on the subheading line. So this paragraph right here, this second line paragraph, I want to shade it. So I'm going to my paragraph, so I'm going to come up here with the shading. And whatever color you want, I'm just going to, since my Combat Cybercrime's blue, I'm going to make this a light blue. And then I want a top and bottom border here. So I'll come down here to Borders and Shadings. Let's go ahead and make this dark blue. Make it a little bit wider, 1.5. I only want it on the top and the bottom. I'm going to say OK. So now I've got my title and my subtitle. So you might go ahead and save it at this point in time. Okay, so you want to do all of that before we do anything with creating columns. So to format the columns, we're going to place the cursor where the columns should begin. In this case, it's right here in Cyberspace in our daily lives. So right here in this column, we're going to put our insertion point, and we're going to come down here and select all of the text. Then we're going to come in here to the page layout, and right here is columns. The columns we want more columns, so we're going to come down here to where it says more columns, and let's see what it says. We want 3 columns. So here's 3. We want a line in between. So we're going to check that. We want spacing between. So right here, we want to set this to 0.25. And equal column width. And we're going to apply to selected text. And we're going to say OK. Another way we could have done this, whoops, is we could have just put our insertion point here, gone to columns, said more columns, that we want 3, we want the line in between, and the spacing set to 0.25, and say OK. Now, the problem with doing it this way is it seems it wants to make the title into a column as well. We don't want that. We want the column to be separate. So more columns. We want 3, line in between, 0.25. Right here, apply to whole document. We need to change that. Apply to this point forward. Okay, that way our title is going to stay up at the top. We want to choose a paragraph in the body of the document and place a paragraph border around it and then shade it. So just pick one of the columns here. Let's see. I'm going to just click this one over here. So I'm going to just click in this paragraph. And I'm going to come up here to the Home tab. I want to do a paragraph border. So I'm just going to say make it 1, apply to the paragraph. Okay. And then I want to shade this paragraph. And I'm going to shade it just the same shade of blue. That just brings out that information. Okay. We're ready for 9. Select the 4 lines beginning with partnership with owners. So let's come over here and find that. Okay. Select the 4 lines beginning with partnerships with owners and ending with education about how public. So let's find the partnership. Here's partnership with owners right here. And we want to end with the education about how the public. So we want to select these 4 lines. And we want a customized bullet list. We don't want to use the bullets. So I'm just going to use this little arrow here. And then we want to decrease these by 1. So I'm going to come up here to the decrease and move it back over so that it's lined up with the edge. That takes up less room. Okay, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so I can see all of my document, and I want to bold the following text in the document. Cyberspace in our daily lives right here. I want to bold that. I want to bold securing the cyber ecosystem and responding quickly to cyber vulnerabilities. Identifying cyber vulnerabilities and collaborating to enhance. Okay, I want to put a column break before the paragraphs beginning combat cyber threats and identifying cyber vulnerabilities. So right here on the first column, I'm just going to put my insertion point right in front of that C, and then I'm going to come up to the Layout tab, and right here I have breaks. When I click here, I can come down here, and here's a column break. What that's going to do is it's going to move that information to the top of the next column. I'm going to do the same thing down here in front of the identifying cyber vulnerabilities. I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to put in a column break. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off my, Home tab, turn off my Show Hide Markers, and you can see that now my little flyer looks a little more inviting to read. So now you're ready to save this Combat Cybercrime newsletter and submit for grading.